Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with a super rare review of the awesomely obscure 80s slasher film, Hard Rock Nightmare. I recently got this tape from a buddy of mine, not on YouTube, and it's now one of the rarest VHS tapes in my collection. It's another one of those lost on VHS horror films, and even better, it's a slasher. Hard Rock Nightmare is a 1988 slasher film, written and directed by Dominic Brascia. Dominic also directed Evil Laugh, but most people probably know him as Joey in Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. He's pretty much the most important character in that movie when you think about it. And speaking of Friday the 13th, some of the characters in Hard Rock Nightmare mention it, and there is even an homage to its soundtrack. Hard Rock Nightmare opens with a nice sepia tone scene of a grandfather scaring the absolute crap out of his grandson. His grandson is a young boy named Jim, and the grandfather somehow convinces Jim that he is both a werewolf and a vampire. And so, when the grandfather goes to take a nap, young Jim kills him by driving a stake through his heart. The movie then cuts to 10 years later. Jim is now in a band, and he has a girlfriend. Apparently, because he was only a child when he killed his grandfather, he was never convicted of murder, and instead was given psychiatric help. One day, when Jim and his band are practicing in a garage, the cops show up. They claim that neighbors have been complaining about the loud noise, and the band must move immediately. With no place else to go, Jim decides to bring the band to his grandfather's old house, which has been left to him after his grandmother passed away. In fact, it's not just a house, but an entire farm, where the band can practice without worry. Jim's girlfriend accompanies them, along with a couple of female roadies. When they arrive at the farm, typical slasher hijinks commence, as the group parties, drinks, and, of course, has sex. But they are not alone. Jim receives a call from whom he believes to be his grandfather, even though he's dead. He then realizes it's a full moon and believes a werewolf is on the property. One by one, Jim's bandmates and friends are brutally massacred. Is Jim going crazy, or is a werewolf actually to blame? Hard Rock Nightmare is not only a rare and obscure slasher film, but it's a musical, vampire, werewolf slasher film. It also has a Scooby-Doo slasher vibe. It's a super fun, well-done, whodunit slasher flick. It also reminds me a lot of Scary Movie from 1991, which is another favorite of mine. Jim, the main character, very much reminds me of John Hawkes' character in that. There is even a nightmare sequence where Jim wakes up much like John Hawkes wakes up in the opening scene of Scary Movie. Both characters have that overwhelming paranoia throughout the entire films. Now, as I already mentioned, Hard Rock Nightmare is extremely rare and lost on VHS. There are a lot of horror films lost on VHS, and I've reviewed a bunch of them. Many times, though, you spend a lot of time and energy and even money to acquire them, only to find that they're underwhelming. Then there are others like Ruggiero Deodato's Body Count and Mirage from 1990 that make the search so worth it. Hard Rock Nightmare falls into that category. This is truly a hidden slasher gem. I'd even go as far as calling it one of the better late 80s slasher films. It's so good. It has everything you could possibly want in a slasher. There's cheesy acting, genuinely funny dialogue. The setting is isolated, and there is a lot of mist, which makes it extremely atmospheric. Some of the characters are likable, and with others, you can't wait until they reach their demise. The kills are violent and bloody, and there is the ever so appealing gratuitous nudity. The look of the killer is absolutely amazing. And if all that weren't enough, the big reveal at the end alone is worth the watch. Seriously, Hard Rock Nightmare is a top-notch 80s slasher film. This is the type of movie that makes me love hunting for obscure horror on VHS. It's super fun, super cheesy, super entertaining, super atmospheric, and super rare. Although I probably know the answer to this question, I'll ask anyway. Have you seen Hard Rock Nightmare? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind, subscribe.